social services and Delaware opportunities in Delaware County, New York. Simon Says, shut the fuck up. Sit the fuck down. You better start fucking listening to somebody. You don't have to listen to me at all. You don't have to listen to a word I say. There are people over your heads, Delaware County, New York State's coming to get you. I hope you know that. And they're going to eat you alive. I can't wait until Trump takes office. Remember what he said? Anybody that owes Russia money, I don't give a shit. Go fucking get them. He said it right on the news a few days ago. What the fuck do you think he's going to do to you, Delaware County? How much money do you owe? You're 40 years behind in the fire department. What else are you behind in? You will never catch up from the mess that you've made of this county. You will never catch up. They're going to come in and take over. And the whole do-it-yourself shit, you know what, you fucking pieces of shit that you do that shit to us all the time, us homeless, poor people, do it yourself. Guess what you can't do, social services? You are obviously unable to do it yourself. Guess who's going to come in and take over? New York State. Guess who the governor of our state is? Look it up. I don't think she is tolerating your shit anymore either, because you are making her look horrible. Horrible. This is what she's governing. I feel sorry for her. I feel sorry for that woman. Kathy, I give you my personal condolences on the job that you're doing and the reflection of the job that you must do because of all the people that are such fuck-ups. And now all of this reflects on you. I feel sorry for you. I hope I'm helping you. I really hope I am. The people in this county need help. I am a screaming, crying baby, screaming and crying at the top of my lungs for everyone here in this county. Taxpayers, I hope you realize what you've done by turning your backs and ignoring everything that's going on. How many of you are going to be poor here pretty soon and homeless because you're not even going to be able to afford your taxes here in Delaware County? They are going to have to raise the taxes here so much because of all the fucking off they've done and all the catching up they're going to have to do. Do you think the fire department, the only reason I keep harping on that is because that's admitted by them? That was in the newspaper. I know many other things that I mention that I will not harp on necessarily because I don't have proof or evidence of everything. I have things that have happened. I have some documentation. I have some witnesses. But there's certain things, Delaware County, you've done to yourself, like putting in the newspaper that your fire department is 40 years behind in training and equipment. And you think it should just remain that way because you can't afford to make up where you've left off, and you can't afford to save people by not doing your trainings and not getting the equipment, by ignoring the process of being a part of New York State, Delaware County. You have left this whole county 40 years behind. Social services is 40 years behind. The fire department is 40 years behind. Anything to do with government in this whole county is 40 fucking years behind. Look it up. Check it out. And now it's going to cost more to try to catch up. But you Delaware County residents think it's cool what social services is doing to me and my kids? I don't know how many of you sit back and laugh. You know what I'm laughing at? Me and my kids get to get the fuck out of New York State. We do. We don't have to stay here. You know what you have to do, you stupid fucks? This is where your job is. This is where your family is. This is where your life is. You have to stay here in this mess that you've made, that you've allowed to be made. Just like this shit in the toilet right here. You, social services, Delaware County, the fire department, the mayors of all these little towns, the chambers of commerce, all of you people, you've left everyone poor, and everyone is just going to get poorer. This whole homeless problem, it's going to get a lot bigger around here. They're going to be creeping right up in your back fucking yards. Stamford. You think you're the exception to the rule? Me and my kids couldn't stay in that goddamn foster care house because you threw your goddamn little hissy fit Stamford residents? Fuck you. I wish this on every one of you. And it doesn't matter if I wish it or not. I can sit here and pray, please, please, dear Lord, help them. Or I can sit here and say, I don't give a fuck. Do whatever you're going to do to yourselves. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I wish, what I hope, what I pray. I can think whatever I want. It doesn't matter. It's going to have no bearing on anything that happens to any of you. So if I wish upon you that you're poor and you're homeless, you're not going to be poor and homeless because I wished it on you, you stupid fucking retards. It's going to be because you did it to yourself. What did you do to get yourself into this situation, Joelle asks me. My problem? I was raised in Delaware County. That's what my parents did to me. Then Delaware County hit me with a car the day before kindergarten. Then when I had a tutor, and the tutor went back and told the school how smart I was, and she said I should be in extra programs, the school said, nope, not her. She's poor. Nope. Sydney School. Sydney. Isn't that the town that it took forever to clean up their Project X? Specifically called The Project on Johnson Circle? That was in the newspaper. They got nailed for that. Wasn't it Sydney? There was a whole problem with their hospital and that had to close because the town of Sydney was keeping money from the hospital. That's not even how it was supposed to. It's not how you set up a hospital. This was all in the newspaper. This was years ago. There was a doctor in Gelder, Dr. Governor. He performed a gallbladder surgery on my grandmother. And guess who wasn't even a doctor? This was in the fucking newspaper. He wasn't even a doctor. They didn't check his credentials or nothing. And he was over there performing surgeries as a surgeon right here. You think shit can't happen to you, Delaware County? You think it can't happen to you? You think you're the exception to the rule? You think God's got your back? Prayers? Newsflash, your prayers don't mean shit. Your wishes don't mean shit. Your hopes mean shit. Absolute shit. The universe does not care about you because you don't care about yourselves, Delaware County, New York. You don't care about other people. That's your biggest problem. You're trash. You treat people like shit. You treat your children like shit. They just keep growing up and acting just like you, generation after generation. There's just a mentality around here, and it's Stone Age, cavemen. Old women, little old ladies that say, I gotta ask my husband's permission before I do anything. Well, you go ahead. I hope you've had a great life having to ask your husband's permission for everything. Did you have fun serving him your whole life like God told you to? Did you have fun your whole entire life getting the shit beat out of you, being browbeaten, being told how you're supposed to be subservient because you're the woman? I'm the man. I rule the house. You gotta do what I say. You ask my permission. God says so. That's how they're raised around here. They're so fucking brainwashed. I don't even know how many little teenage girls still to this day are being eaten up by 20-some-year-old boys. Yeah, all the time. It happened to my daughter, and I tried to call the cops, and you know what the cops told me? There's nothing you can do about it. Statutory rape, it's not even a real thing. That's not even what it's called on the books. There's nothing we can do about this. That's what I was told by the Delaware County Sheriff's Department when I called about what happened to my daughter. It's pointless to report anything around here because unless you're on their shit list, they're not going to do anything about it. Small town stuff is what I was told by the pediatrician from Connecticut that came here to Walton in Delaware County at the IRT, the voluntary servicemen that came to provide medical services and veterinary services here in upstate New York, that you guys can all pretend. You can keep pretending. I requested it. You can keep pretending that I'm just merely a homeless person. You're just going to keep ignoring everything I tell you and just keep marching down the same shitty path. No matter what anyone says. Well, you know what I'm doing? I'm doing the same. I'm marching down this same shitty path, Delaware County. You, Joelle, you're going to threaten me again with taking my kids because you won't help us? Do you do drugs, Joelle? Maybe you'll get some fentanyl. It's everywhere. They've been arresting many people for it. It's in the paper. But you know what they put in the paper is only the tip of the iceberg. Do you know the biggest problem? You have no idea here in Delaware County. You don't even know. You don't even have any idea the extent of the drug problem here in Delaware County. And you know drugs get here? Someone better figure it out, because you know who's going to be eaten up and gobbled up next by the drugs? Your kids. Social services. Do you have control over your kids? Do you know how many hours a day they're spending on the phone at school? Do you know if the pedophiles are grooming your kids? You're pretty good at grooming. You've groomed mine. I'm not going to say for sexual reasons, but you definitely keep trying to make friends with them behind my back, offering them toys and trinkets and clothes that it never materializes. You never actually do it. You just lie to kids to get their trust and their bullshit. And then you start asking them a bunch of questions about their parents. And it doesn't matter what the kids say. It doesn't matter. You take bits and pieces and you twist it into whatever you want. And then you go write it down in your paperwork. And it's easy for you guys to just go back and switch and we'll erase this and write this in because you guys won't use your computers. You're rebellious against New York State. By not using your computers, you have no accountability. How many of these motherfuckers here in upstate New York, they just fly under the radar because nobody pays attention to the poorest county in New York State? Nobody cares. How many of you work under the table and pay no taxes? I know many of you that do it. What is your real job? How many of you work over there at social services or Delaware Opportunities, and your husbands are construction workers, stone layers, stone quarry, log cutters, whatever else, and you're not paying your taxes? I hope you get busted. Are you doing their paperwork for them? You get in trouble too, then. You know that, right? I hope y'all lose your houses to taxes. I hope you all end up homeless. Then you can know what me and these kids are going through, because you know who's going to help you? Nobody. You'll see. Nobody. Do it yourself. Thank you, Delaware County residents, for all of your help, because this could have went 1,002 different ways. 1,002 different ways. All the funding and bullshit that you've gotten so far because of my big goddamn mouth, because you're going to get gobbled up by this Democratic bullshit. Your Republican bullshit's going to get gobbled up by the Democratic bullshit. And I don't give a fuck either way. I don't care. I support Ed Snow. I support Sean Smith. I support Trump. I don't care if you are Democrat or Republican. If you do your fucking job, I vote for you. And you know what you're not doing, Delaware County? Your job. You're using people, and you've been getting away with it for decades. And now you've gotten yourself into such a fucking hole, you will never get yourselves out. And you're going to have to admit they're coming to audit you. You do know that. If it's not already happening. People are going to be arrested. Lives are going to be ruined. And I'm sitting back and laughing. Not because I'm doing anything, because you've done it to yourselves. You break the law, you don't do your job, and you've been getting away with it for decades. There's a light shining on you, Delaware County. New York State wants its money. The IRS definitely wants its fucking money. Do not mess with the federal government, Delaware County. Do you know how many of you are going to be held personally accountable? Not only for what you've been doing to the residents here, all of the residents. It's not just us poor people. You are ripping everyone off. Every taxpayer in this county you have ripped off by misappropriating the money, using it however the fuck you want. You're not honest about what's going on. Every person that lives in Delaware County, you are fucking over. And now you are going to have to raise everyone's taxes. Taxes people already can't pay. Many of us. And now they're going to go up to make up for what you have fucked up. I hope everyone's happy and so proud of the county that you live in. Let's see that Delaware County, New York pride now. This is where you live. This is what they're doing to people. This is what you taxpayers are allowing with your ignorance. You think it's just us homeless people? I don't know how much clearer I can make any of this to any of you. I keep repeating the same thing over and over and over. Must be the autistic side of me. Very easy for me to just keep repeating myself. You've done this to everyone. There better be criminal charges out of this.
I already did.